Moving on to an exciting one here. The Saints moved to 6-7 by defeating the Panthers 28-6. Panthers are now 1-12. Bryce Young goes 137 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He does have 40 rushing yards to add in, but still sucked. Derek Carr, not much better. 119 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So, of all the good, this is the first game I think we've seen bad QB numbers, with the exception of Jared Goff. So, in a good week of QBs, these two are not going to be on the leaderboard. Running backs, we see Chuba Hubbard goes 23 carries, 87 yards, 2 for 9 through the air. Sanders was probably his best game in a while, and it wasn't great. He had 10 carries for 74 yards. Kamara in his worst game in a while. He has 12 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Three catches for negative 11 yards through the air is an interesting stat line. Through the air, through the receivers here. Thielen goes 5 for 74. DJ Chark 2 for 26. Mingo 2 for 22. Chris Olave 4 for 28 and a touchdown. A lot of not great numbers here by the receivers. Thielen, I guess, was the best, and Olave was saved by a touchdown, but it wasn't pretty. The tight ends are not much prettier. And for the second week in a row, Jimmy Grandpa is the best tight end for the Saints. 2 for 16 and another touchdown, which is what he's living on. Both kickers were not good. The Panthers defense, nobody was starting. They sucked. The Saints defense was awesome. They are the DST1 on the week, I'm sure. They had 4 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, a touchdown, and 5 fourth down stops. They were excellent. What are your takeaways from this?
This is going to be a really weird game script. If you look at the snaps, it's all over the place in New Orleans, just because Carolina might be the most dysfunctional team we've seen since that 2021 Jaguar squad. They are awful and cannot do anything. Like, it is brutal watching the offense try to do, like, anything. Like, Hubbard's getting there on volume, and Sanders finally had an efficient day, but it's just so rough. I was watching that game, and you just see there was a throw from Young to Mingo, or like around the corner, where all Mingo has to do is turn to the right side, but he turns to the left side, looks the wrong way, and the ball lands 5 feet to his right. And it's like, dude, you could have had a white. It's just
really,
this is that team.
That's
they're
amazing that would happen. We've documented how good Mingo is at running routes.
Yeah, with his body control and all that.
This is shocking to me. I would never expect that from Jonathan Mingo.
It was so bad. I was just like, and you see Bryce Young, he throws his hands up like, good Lord.
Bryce Young, Jonathan Mingo, first round, second round combination, the worst 1-2 draft pick in like the NFL history. The worst any team's ever come out with 2 high-end draft picks.
It's so brutal, man.
It's pretty bad right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and they desperately need help. Like, clearly they missed on Mingo, and Young's just in the worst possible situation. So I don't know what they gotta do, but they gotta make some changes if they want to be at all competitive next year, because it's a lot of the same issues. And they're tied up with cap money too, so it's a harder situation than Jacksonville. But
turns out
the Saints, like, Carr was awful too. And you see his linemen yelling. Did you watch the game actually?
No, like, I was out.
The linemen were literally yelling at Derek Carr as they were running off the field. Like, they were pissed at Derek Carr. Because I don't know what's going on, but it just seems like they're tired of him as well. So, yeah, New Orleans got there just because they're just a better team. They have better players across the board, and like, they didn't really do anything special. They just did enough to survive. Where you're playing Carolina, like, that's my kind of takeaway. Both these teams are probably going to struggle down the stretch.
Yeah, depending on what New Orleans' schedule is. New Orleans gets the Giants, Rams, and Bucks. The Saints could win could win 3 out of the last 4 and make the playoffs here. They're going to lose to the Rams, I think, but.
Yeah, that Atlanta game's going to be probably division deciding.
None of these teams are above 500. The Saints don't face another team above 500. Yikes.
That's wild.
Saints going to win the NFC South.
They could. That Atlanta game's going to be for all the marbles. Watch.
That's gross.